Hey guys, Mindy here, and I wanted to do a quick video for you guys on a new technique that I've tried, and I really did love it, and I thought you guys would too. So, one of the biggest questions that I get is how to apply chunky glitter, and it is a little tricky. It's a little bit harder, and I did a video on how to apply it with epoxy, so the epoxy apply method, and I was trying to think of another way that might be easier than that, and I do earrings. So as you know, I usually mix the glitter in the epoxy and make my earrings that way. So I thought I would try that with actually adding it to my cup that way as well. And I really loved the way that it turned out and the effect that it had on the actual cup. So the next videos, you will see how I did that. It's super easy. It is basically almost foolproof. There was hardly any bumps on my cup at all. There was no glitter sticking out. It laid completely flat. And the glitter that I used was a chunky that was similar to the fine version of it, and I just did a 1-to-1 ratio when I mixed it, I believe, and then I just added it to the epoxy. So you will get to see that in the videos coming up, but I wanted to do just a preface of how I did that, why I did that, and basically it's just because applying chunky glitter can sometimes be really hard. So there's a few different options that you can do when you do it. This is one of them. Another thing that you can do is you can do the fine first and then put the chunky only in the epoxy if you're going to do like a combination of a chunky with a fine. So that's another option that you can do as well. I hope this helps you. Thanks. For this cup, I taped off a stainless steel tumbler and I painted it with a hunter green base prior to adding my epoxy glitter mix. At this point, I have already mixed my epoxy, both parts together to make my epoxy mix, and it is completely mixed, and I was dumping it into a separate container. And now I'm just adding my glitter mixture, which, as I said, is a 1-to-1 ratio of the chunky and the fine. I just mixed it until I liked the look of it, and then I added it to my epoxy. And I add it to my epoxy, and then I stir it, and I kind of pick up the popsicle stick and just kind of see what kind of a coverage I have. I want it to be a really good coverage on this cup. I don't want to be able to see any of the cup underneath it, but I did base coat it in that hunter green so that I didn't have any issues with the stainless steel showing through or anything like that. I wanted it to have that really good green color underneath it. So, and then I added the epoxy. So now I'm just taking my gloved finger and applying my epoxy mix to the cup. I'm just making sure that I go all the way to the tape on the bottom and the tape on the top as well. That way it gets a good smooth coverage. And when I remove the tape, I don't want to have any areas that are not covered by that mixture that I made. It's really simple. There's really not much to it. I'm just going around it, going around the top by the tape, and then going around the bottom, and then just making sure I get all of the epoxy on there. You do have a little bit of runnage. I mean, the epoxy is pretty thick, but it could have a tendency to kind of run once you get it on there. So I did put this on my turner after I had it on there and just spun it for, I think I just left it on there all night, which you probably wouldn't even need to leave it on there that long. But it was late and I was going to bed anyway. So I just left it on my turner for the night and just made sure that there wasn't any drips or anything running on it. But since I did do a pretty good thick coat of it, because I wanted to make sure I had good coverage of my epoxy mixture, I did go ahead and stick it on my turner. I think I used 15 milliliters of each part and then added my glitter to it. So I did have quite a bit left over in my cup, so I'm not sure how many milliliters I actually ended up on the cup itself. I would say probably 10 to 20 milliliters ended up on the cup.
On the nights when the dark lasts a little bit longer, when the wind and the storm is a little bit stronger, when the fear in my heart digs a little bit deeper.
I just stuck it on my turner like I said, and that's what it's doing here. I just put it on my turner and let it spin overnight. And that is really it. I waited probably 20 minutes to 30 minutes to pull my tape because it really wasn't moving much. So it was fine once I pulled the tape. But it looked so good. I love the colors.
Holds a little bit tighter. I'm reminded your grace never asked for perfection. Oh, I'm restored 'cause I'm yours and I stand forgiven. Yeah. Even when it feels like my world is shaking, even when I've had all that I can take, I know you never let me go. Whoa.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Drop me a comment if you have any questions.